A very good evening and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We continue to take a look on what's happening in Mozambique. And this evening, we need to do a recap or a review of today's events. We have seen the arrival of the opposition leader of Mozambique, Venancio Mondlane. And I was welcomed at Maputo International Airport by his supporters. And one of the critical issues or the most important issues are that he was able to take an oath of office or to take an oath which is usually taken by the presidents on his arrival, which means whatever which happens, he is the president-elect as is declared himself. So the inauguration process, both inauguration processes, the one of Mondlane and the one of the others, they are meant to happen on the 15th of this month. And today is the 9th. And looking at what happened at last, this is something which is very, very important. The VOA has reported that after Venancio Mondlane arrived in Maputo, thousands of people gathered to hear him at the Estrela Vermelha market, where the presidential candidate gave a speech that was interrupted by the Rapid Intervention Unit. So while Venancio Mondlane was addressing his supporters, there was an interruption which happened. The Rapid Intervention Unit then came and dispersed everyone. This is different to the police in terms of that they do not, operate like what the police do. They have their own means. Like in Zimbabwe, ndo wakomana vaivekana nana rishai. Is very, very important because it then makes us question how safe is Venancio Mondlane. He is in Mozambique. Likely they were tracking his movements. Likely they know where he is right now. And the only things which can stop these vultures from doing what they did to his lawyer and another leader of the Podemos, there is need for the military to make sure that wherever he is, there is 100% 24/7 security. That is the only way he can be safe. If not that, then he needs to have a secondary security which is well armed to protect him. Failure to do so, you will see difficulties in terms of his survival. And also, if he is in a safe place, you will need to limit his movements because this is the major critical moment. What I have observed is that if Venancio is assassinated today, yes, there will be chaos, there will be violence, but they will create a vacuum within the opposition because the Podemos leader has already accepted to take seats in parliament, which means he will not be able to step in to replace Mondlane. If something happens, he won't be able to step in to replace the vacuum which they could have created. So at this point in time, the state of Mozambique is not shaken. But if Mondlane is executed, they won't be shaken at all because the people will protest, yes, but who are they going to install as president? So the only option for the protesters is to have Mondlane alive. But now that Mondlane is in the country, if he manages to hide, if he manages to outmaneuver the state security, what it means, he can actually perform the inauguration as he plans together with whoever is backing him. I know that he does command a lot of security. There are a lot of people, very powerful people, who are backing him. And that is something which is very, very important. There have been messages from SADC leaders, SADC dictators, to say use maximum force, use the military, silence everyone. But it seems as if there is quite a resistance from the military itself, or there is fear to fully deploy the military because they do not know the results. And the deployment of the military might result in other forces like United Nations then intervening to stop the killing of the masses because they will be shooting people, shooting masses. At this point in time, they're trying by all means possible to suppress the number of people who die. So when they shoot people, they are shooting point blank, killing people, so as to intimidate protesters to say, 2 people have died today. We don't know how many are going to die tomorrow. And in houses, there are allegations that they were moving around, beating people, shooting people in houses in their residences, so as to try and send a message to the people to say, we can do this. So this is a very critical moment, a very, very critical moment. From today up to the 15th, we are likely going to see so many attempts on Venancio Mondlane's life. And I hope and believe that his security is ready and vicious to defend him. And I hope and believe that they have put mechanisms in place to defend him. The biggest challenge and the biggest problem is that it's raining, which means people cannot have a prolonged, methods of securing him. They cannot continue to be in the rains, because of, what happens. They will be interrupted, they will be disrupted by the rains, and the vicious egos within the state would take, or the vultures would take advantage of that to try and harm Venancio Mondlane. So the prayer of everyone is that he lives up to the 15th, because that is where the most critical decisions are going to be made. Remember, today we talked about the leaders of the opposition political parties. They were meeting with Filipe Nyusi in the morning. The meeting happened. All political leaders were there from political parties, but we do not know the outcome of that meeting as of yet. There is there is nothing tangible to talk about from that meeting as of now, because the man of the moment is Venancio. That is the man who they should have engaged. They should have talked to say, let us talk, let us find each other. So Venancio, one of the key issues is that he made it clear that he's in the country to enhance dialogue, to make sure that dialogue happens, which means dialogue is the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, 13th, and the 14th to happen. And failure to do so, we are likely going to see further steps and further action from Team Venancio. So one of the key issues is that today, no one was violent, no one was looting, no one was vandalizing, which means all those things which we saw, it seems as if they were being led by Frelimo people or Frelimo plans who were put into the people to cause disharmony, to cause the looting. That is the reason why Venancio had to stop the demonstrations for the past weeks, and he had to come onto the ground, say that he commands the demonstrations himself and he protects the people. The major question is he going to be able to stop the killings? It's very difficult for him to do that. And he will need to map out a clear plan. If the inauguration of Chapo continues to happen on the 15th, what are they going to do? Some are saying he must go to the same venue together with his supporters and be inaugurated at the same venue. That is what other people are saying. Others are saying he must have a different inauguration on his own. If he manages then to have some key people within Mozambique to attend, then it will then send shockwaves to everyone else. Then others are saying even if he manages to have a separate inauguration, they want to see how Daniel Chapo is going to create a government without the people of Mozambique behind him. Because for you to be able to govern, your people must be obedient to you. Your people must be listening to you. Failure for the people to listen to you, that is what is called the civil disobedience. And the civil disobedience usually causes governments to fall. Even if they fail to fall in the short run, in the long run, they fall because of civil disobedience. When the civil servants are disengaged, when the people are disengaged, who are you going to lead? So the biggest thing is you must lead the people who agree with you. And it's very, very difficult and very, very, challenging for Chapo to be able to do that. So it's very, very interesting from now going forward with the way everything ended today. There is a likelihood that several attempts will be made on Venancio, whether through poisoning, whether through, abduction or whatever. But they will try, they will make attempts to get to him. But it depends on his security. So him coming back to Mozambique and the government not touching him so far, there are two things which are very, very important right there. It's either they are scared or they are trying to make him relax, and then they attack when he is relaxed, which means all the way he must be prepared to defend himself. He must make sure that everything he does, he is safe. And most importantly, we need to see the global leaders stepping up, showing leadership, and taking action so as to stop the mass killing of people, or to stop the assassination or possible assassination of Venancio Mondlane. This is what we have for you. We will be watching from tomorrow going forward to see what will be the next steps of Venancio Mondlane. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Let us meet in other episodes, in other broadcasts.